Hello friends, I'm Cindy Rain. I'm a mom, I'm a musician, and I share all of those things. And I also share insights that I'm learning insights from along my journey. So today we're talking about rejection. We started this conversation a couple months ago, and the last thing I told you was that my therapist suggested that I do exposure therapy, which is essentially just like doing a bunch of tasks that are likely to get you rejected. And the idea is that the more you experience it, the easier it gets, right? What I realized is that instead of doing a bunch of tasks that I may or may not care about, the fastest route to me getting to the bottom of this would be for me to finally fully address like one really big rejection that I had been processing for a really long time. Been working with a therapist, working with a coach. I've been reading lots of books, joined an online program, like all the things, all right? And sometimes in talking to people, they would give me advice. And while all of those things were helpful, I still felt very stuck and unable to move on. But I recently experienced a breakthrough in this area, and I want to tell you about how I got there. So part of the problem with everything that I was trying before was that I was attacking it only on an intellectual level. So learning things like rejection is divine protection and understanding my patterns and how I got into this situation. And I get it. And also, I don't care. This doesn't make me feel any better. You know what I mean? So what I had to do was move grief through my body. And that began with me listing all of the things that I was grieving. And I had to pay special attention to the things that I did not feel like I had a right to grieve. All the things that I felt embarrassed about grieving. I just had to own my feelings and validate my feelings for myself and just be like, I am angry about this and I am sad about this and I don't care if anyone else thinks it's okay. So that was the first step. And then I went to an event that was hosted by one of the members of this women's community that I'm a part of. A few years ago, I did Mama Gina's mastery program, and she teaches a tool called swamping, which is essentially dressing like your dark emotions, getting in a room with other women, and moving it through your body. So dancing through it, screaming, yelling, crying, expressing it in a way that wouldn't necessarily be safe otherwise. So, might be throwing things across the room, might be beating a chair with a towel. I don't know. Just whatever you can do to physically get it out. So I went to this event. I took my list of things that I was sad about and angry about, and I felt the feelings and I moved them through my body. And after I did that, that's when all of the things that I had been trying before could finally start to click. That's when I was able to finally get some new connections, some new revelations, a new understanding of my situation. And this is the biggest revelation that I had. Prior to moving the emotions through my body, I felt like, I know intellectually that no one's opinion of me determines my worth or value. But I still have this fear of rejection. So what gives? And the realization that I had was that you cannot have it both ways. That's not a thing. A fear of rejection is literally a belief that someone else's opinion of you is going to affect your worth and value. Now, this realization was so freeing for me because it explained my behavior. See, if there's this subconscious belief that your opinion of me determines my worth and my value, then it's only logical that I would try to manage your opinion of me, because your opinion of me means everything. What I also noticed is when I have these like two conflicting beliefs, you don't determine my worth and value, but yes, you also determine my worth and value. The way it shows up in behavior can be a little bit more covert. So like for me, when rejection showed up the first time, I was like, I'm not gonna try to prove myself. I'm just going to stay here and be friendly and be my wonderful self, and eventually he will see me. What was actually happening was I was trying to prove myself with my presence. Now that I've cleaned that belief up, when rejection shows up, I can just walk away because I know that the rejection doesn't mean anything about me. So I don't have to do anything about it. I don't have to over-explain myself. I don't need you to understand how I'm feeling. I don't need you to agree with me. I actually don't need anything from you because I'm sourcing my validation internally. What I really want to point out about this is that this is something that I was told a long time ago, and I could not accept it because when someone rejects me, I'm like, what do you mean it's not about me? It's a rejection of me. But once I went through the process of moving the grief through my body, what I realized is that the fear of rejection is the fear of feeling those feelings. We don't want to go cry in a corner. We don't want to rage. We don't want to feel the feelings. We just want to be unbothered. But you kind of have to go through the feeling of the uncomfortable feelings to get to the other side where you can actually be unbothered. Understanding this intellectually is not enough. You have to understand it on a deep physical level because trauma gets stuck in the body, and until you move that shit out, it's just gonna stay there. And for me, I was just going in circles. Like, I know, but it still hurts. I know, but it hurts. I know, I don't care, it hurts. But now I'm kind of like, yes, it hurt. And I moved through it, and it didn't kill me, and now I can move forward. I was having a conversation with a friend the other day, and we were talking about this idea that the market determines your value, which is actually not true. You actually determine your value, and then you bring that value to the market. Let's talk about this from an actual business perspective. So I'm a voice teacher. I remember 10 years ago seeing some celebrity vocal coaches who were charging upwards of $350 per session, right? Now, if they were to market their services in a poor community, they would have no clients because no one could afford them. And they would be broke. Does that mean that they're not worth the $350 an hour? No, that's not what it means. It means that they were in the wrong market. If they take stock of their gifts, understand what their value is, and then go market themselves to aspiring artists with a lot of money, or market themselves to record labels who have budgets, then they can actually command that and higher. So again, the market does not determine your value. You determine your value, and then you go find your market. So the beautiful side effect in all of this is that I am noticing a lot more freedom in my singing. So before, I found that I was most creative when I was alone. As soon as there was another pair of eyes on me, I would kind of like freeze up, right? And all of that was just, again, a fear of, what if I don't do it right? And what if people think X, Y, and Z about me? If they don't like my singing, then that means I'm a terrible singer. And in this realization that nothing means anything about me, I have the freedom to express and do whatever, because if you don't like it, it means nothing. So that's about it for me. I'm curious to hear how that resonated with you. Are you afraid of rejection? Are you totally cool with it? Are you unbothered, or are you pretending to be unbothered? And what kinds of things have worked for you on your path of healing this? If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know how you're doing with this, and I will see you soon. Bye.